Today is August 28th, 2017. I'm Luke Sanders, and this is The Buzz on Fashion. In today's episode, we take a look at a girl who is excelling in the costume design world. Then we'll focus in on some of our favorite 90s trends and a group of girls who have started their own local fashion empire. Let's get started.
Kendra Brown is a talented and creative individual who has a strong passion for costume design. In the costuming world, she believes you can take abstract ideas and a personality and turn them into something that a character wears.
I started when I was in 7th grade. That's when I got my first sewing machine. I was introduced to shows and plays and musicals. I learned a lot, and from there I just really been building up my sewing skills from there.
She's had a lot of success at Blake High School, working on original designs for the different theatrical performances. Her personal favorite piece was a costume worn by Nora, the main character in a play, A Doll's House.
Before I started working on it, a lot of people told me like, oh, you shouldn't really do A Doll's House or it's really boring. So I felt that drive to be like, okay, now I have to do it. I was really inspired by her character. I always like a strong woman's role. The play took place in the late 1700s, early 1800s, which is a new time period for me. I've never touched anything period piece, so it was a really big challenge for me.
After high school, Kendra plans to pursue costuming in college and further in life. But to her, costuming is more than just a degree.
Even though a costume is, just fabric or, shirts and pants, costuming to me means more than just sewing.
Kendra Brown was not the only student to take on a period piece. This week, The Buzz on Fashion took on the 90s.
Hello everyone! Today we're going back into the not-so-distant past and recreating a teen sweetheart look from the early 1990s. This look is inspired by the Saved by the Bell fashion icon, Kelly Kapowski. After the wild and overdressed style of the 80s, dressing down became popular. Makeup as well became very minimalistic. Women went for a matte complexion, with thin eyebrows and a dark brown lipstick, and teenagers always wanted that pop of color for eyeshadow. This sky blue color on the nails was wildly popular among teens in the 90s. For hair, we were inspired by Kelly Kapowski's deep part and somewhat recreated that. It was also popular to braid parts of the hair, tease it, or clip it back with butterfly clips. And there you have it, a 90s makeover that could fit in easily here in 2017. Just goes to show that fashion is timeless.
Vintage styles are making a comeback with young people. Next are some students who are taking advantage of this not-so-new trend.
High school years are often regarded as the best years of one's life. But while most teens spend their free time on Snapchat and Instagram, Avery Richards, Maddie Rice, and Julia Perino have different after-school activities. These three have started their own business called the Super Cool Hot Mom Club.
We had the idea to start a fashion business type thing, and we were like, what do we call it? And we were like, let's just call it Super Cool Hot Mom Club, and it kind of makes sense because of mom jeans and like the whole vintage style.
We go out and we find vintage finds, things that kind of are overlooked in thrift stores, and we put them into a new context and sell them as vintage clothing.
These young innovators have a shop, sew, and sell method for their business, where they find hidden treasures in local thrift stores, upcycle them into the new vintage looks that young people are loving, and upload the photos of them for their Instagram viewers to shop at will.
We find clothes at garage sales, find old vintage clothes that our moms have in their closets, and we refurbish them and alter them, and we post them on Instagram.
While the future of Super Cool Hot Mom Club is still unclear to these seniors, there's talk of passing down their fashion empire.
There's been talk of us handing it down to some underclassmen or something to keep it like kind of alive at Blake, because it's kind of Blake's own thing.
Because we're all seniors, what we'll do after we graduate, we're not sure.
There's also been talk of us making a website and then going to separate colleges and continuing it and buying and selling things online, So we might expand, but we might keep it local.
For now, though, Maddie, Avery, and Julia will continue to grow their store and have fun along the way.
Whether it's designing your own clothes or reinventing old trends, fashion is an integral part of our culture. From The Buzz on Fashion, I'm Luke Sanders. Thank you.